Uncovering Government Dealings, a call for critical questioning and transparency in Jamaica.
Some things here that are concerning, and some of them I know to be factual.
Yeah.
Because I have the Contractor General's report regarding the rooms on the beach. And then, there are questions about the buses. And then there are questions about the property that he tried to lease from the government. And there are so many things. But again, people, all you have to do is ask him, what's right about this deal? And what are you, is there anything that you're concerned about with this deal? Just ask him them two questions. You don't have to be an economist, a financial expert, a political wizard. You don't have to be any of those things to ask him these questions. Just common sense questions.
Follow the money. Follow any one of them guys have GPS shares.
Well, that should be available through the statutory declarations. The problem is that we have a commission. It's not even an integrity commission. The electrical
company were coming in. Do they connect to anybody in Jamaica? Any one of them politicians?
Well, we'd have to go back and look at that. We'd have to go back and look at that to see if, as you said, any connection between the South Korea and the Japanese companies. If there are any connections between the companies and the people on the board or any politicians, who else?
No big contract.
Yeah. I mean, it stinks. It stinks, and I just don't like. But one of the things that I'm mindful of is that I don't have the contract in hand, and so I'm only going by what the minister himself said. I would love to get that contract to go through it with a fine-tooth comb.
Yeah.
Because believe me, people, I am sure as I sit here, I'm going to find things wrong with it. I am 100% sure if I get that contract in my hand and with my little bird brain and with the time when I'm going to spend on it, I am going to find things wrong with it. Yeah, man, my little bird brain small, but it a function. It a function. I am going to find things wrong with it.
Yeah, man. And to the Prime Minister, you see, I seen in Parliament acting up and him is pliable. The Prime Minister is pliable and adaptable to the truth. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And with honesty, he's same flexible and pliable, same way. You cannot believe him.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, when I noticed, I've been watching when he go to the Parliament, he's always shouting and acting petulant like a child.
I tell you what, babe. Let me tell you something. You see, and sometimes I cringe when I hear some of the questions asked of ministers, because there's a technique to asking questions. There's a technique that will force a minister. If you ask the question properly, he can't raise his voice. Cannot raise him voice. If you ask the question properly, he cannot. You trap him. He can't raise his voice because there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. And raising your voice, believe me, the way you ask the question, cannot raise him voice. He cannot raise him voice, and he cannot answer you.
But I noticed that's only happened when he addressing the Jamaican people, him have contempt for them. When he was talking to Rubio, he was very submissive.
Of course.
You could all hear his voice.
Of course. You know them say, where you're bound, you must obey. Where you're bound, you must obey.
He contempt for the Jamaican people. When he talk to when the thing about the UN, I've been looking on the way he speak, when he talking to the Jamaican people, and when he talking to anybody from any other country, he's subdued, he control himself.
Listen, he has family in the Florida area. He need a visa to go see them, right? So that's what I'm saying. Where you're bound, you must obey. Because when he's talking to Secretary of State Marco Rubio, he knows that this man has the power to just cancel his visa, and that's it. And that's just one of the things that the State Department could do to him. He know that. So he have to be respectful. He have to be very careful when he talk to them people. But when him come out to the Jamaican, and part of it is because when they ask him questions that give him an out, and when him see an opening, him start shout on the top of his voice and run through it. Well, listen, not telling the people, not telling them. If him give me a
I've been
chance, for
observing
him, if him
and
give,
watching them and see. I mean, him have no respect for the Jamaican people. Him can talk to them anyhow and shout at
all
them
right,
and lie to them and steal from them and all that stuff.
all right. Bim, I always show the example of the South African Parliament because I just admire the way them guys and the American Congress though, how them ask questions of responsible people, right?
Yeah,
I love the way them ask questions, but by no means, people, should you believe that what I'm saying is that Jamaica don't have people who can ask them questions. What I'm saying is that Jamaica doesn't have enough of those people asking the questions. So what I'm saying, we have them in Jamaica now, but they're not asking the questions. Now I'm going to play you a clip. I'm glad you come on, Bim. I'm glad you come on. Stay with me on the line because I'm going to play this clip and I'm going to show you how a Jamaican politician, right?
Yeah.
Drape up a responsible person. And what I want you to watch, it's a small clip, but what I want you to watch, I want you to watch carefully the body language, and then we're going to talk after. Here it is.
Yeah.
Take a look at this. Here we go.
Can you remind me of the number of packages that the government has distributed to this point?
I think it was 116,000.
15,000. It was indicated too that partners would have been distributing. Do you have information about that number from the partners?
Not in my notes here, but I can indicate, for example, that the World Food Kitchen was one of our stronger partners. To date, they have done just 1.3 million hot meals into various communities.
Right, but that's not packages. That would have been
that's hot meals.
Right, so they will give a daily distribution of hot meals. So if we work with the 116, you also indicated that you estimate that each package would serve about 4 people.
Yes, for 4 days.
For 4 days.
Yeah.
So with about 20 days gone, then we should have had about 5 rotations.
That is ideal.
That is ideal. So with this number, we should have indicated that if it was serving a family of 4, then at best, each family would have received 1/5 of the time, or 1/5 of the families would have received enough times. Which one is the more likely circumstance?
Repeat this for my clarity.
All right. So
one for
the 5 periods that would have existed since the hurricane, you have distributed enough food for 1 per family. So if it is 1 per family, then they would have received 1/5 of the times that you desired. Or was it that 1/5 of the family received enough rotations?
The reality of it might be a mix of the two.
Sorry?
Because we have been back into locations to issue products.
So in that case, therefore, there would be some persons that would have been in a rotation, indicating that there might be quite a bit of persons that have not been touched by government.
The possibility could exist.
How quickly could we get that information so that we can cauterize and immediately solve that situation?
We could see to work on it just to complete it this week.
An economist, expert,
People, wanna talk to me? Bim, talk to me. Well, first of all, on notice the body language. Oh yeah, all right. Ilya notice it, right? You notice when the conversation started, it was relaxed. You never see my hands.
Hold leaders accountable. Ask critical questions. Demand transparency and truth.